Hello. Been a while. Got a bit of a new format for everybody. I've been very inspired to shoot a lot lately, and that turned into me being inspired to make more camera and photo driven videos again because, I think I've had this channel 5 years and I've only made a handful of videos. Luckily, I feel like they've all done quite well, which is great. It's nice that people are looking up this kind of content, and it's something it's like almost all I watch. So I've been watching a lot more long form content, a lot more almost like vloggy, but not even vloggy. Like I don't want this to seem like a vlog. I want it to be photo driven. So that's what this attempt is. It's kind of a weird setup. We're in the process of moving, so there's stuff hanging everywhere. I'm just trying to make it sound as good as I can. I'm filming on my phone, so it's probably not the best looking right here, but yeah, this is a recent trip my wife and I took to the Okanagan, and I planned on making this video before we went, so I filmed a little bit of the journey, and then I'm going to show a bunch of the photos that we took on that trip and kind of just fill in the gaps where needed. So yeah, that's what this is. So let's go to the Okanagan. Glad we weren't going into Vancouver this day because the traffic was brutal. I love the drive once you get out of Vancouver going east. You can convince yourself it looks almost like Hawaii or something like that. There's just mountains all over you, really green, some little bits of water here and there. It's so beautiful to drive through here. Who knew chugging a venti iced coffee would make you have to pee right away? And I bought one of everything at the gas station. So I grabbed the Contax for the first shot of the trip. Rained a little bit in the Coquihalla, which isn't unusual. So pulling into Merritt here, cool little valley town. I really like the big shadows that the bigger clouds cast on this place when you're driving into it. It happens pretty often. And then I pulled this stereotypical bullshit. Anyway, super windy, so we just sat in the car while it charged. All right, final stretch into Kelowna. There's our first look at the Okanagan. Beautiful lake. Interior BC is very special. And then there's where you know you're close. Shout out Future Brew. So we got there a day earlier than our actual cabin was booked because I didn't want to drive out on a work day because it is about a 4 or 5 hour drive. We have to stop and charge the car too, so it's not that far, but we have to stop and charge a couple times. So we wanted to get out there on a weekend day, and then we stayed at a hotel that we always stay at. We've stayed there like a dozen times or something. They've always been really good to us. So we went there first, and then the plan was to go stay at a cabin that we've also stayed at before. It's like north up the Okanagan from Kelowna. Beautiful cabin, one of my favorite little stays. It's a little bit difficult to get to, but I honestly think it's worth it once you get down there. You have to take a pretty twisty road and then hike kind of down unless you have like a really capable vehicle that can get you closer. Like if you had a all-wheel drive, four-wheel drive kind of car, then you could get closer. especially in the warmer months where it's not like slippery or anything. But if it were to rain, you'd probably be stuck down the hill, not being able to get out. So it is a little bit of a pain in the ass to get to, but it's absolutely worth it, which you'll see shortly. Grab the trusty old T2. I took 2 shots. I like the one on the left more. I just like being able to see the mountains and the clouds and stuff like that. Although if it wasn't as nice, then I don't mind the one on the right. I think the family is like kind of a cool subject. The angles and the lines are nice. The shadow is nice. A lot of like parallel lines and things like that. But overall, I think the one on the left is a better shot. While lost together, went through our 9 bins of clothes to sort out for their consignment store. We walked around the water. So I ate this delicious cake with this very normal sized fork. My hands are just that big. And then we stopped and grabbed some pizza. So next morning I had a bit of work to do, and so I just chilled in the hotel and did that. So for lunch, I had a little bit more work to do. Waited for our favorite restaurant, Frankie, we salute you, to be ready for us. And as you can see, Alexa was very excited. Gino, not so much. Found the perfect sweater at Shaq's Vintage. Should have bought this sick Kodak jacket, but I passed on it. Anyway, headed down to Butt Road to get to our cabin. And this is the road up to the cabin. Pretty windy, pretty narrow, so I had Alexa film anything she thought looked good here. It's a beautiful drive, but I would understand if some people don't absolutely love it. It is a little bit of a twisty road. All right, so we just parked. Just want to say the highway's up here, and you come down here, and then you kind of twist down through this road, and then if you have a more capable car, you can get closer, but we don't. So we park right here, and then we got to hike down there. So now we got to hike all the way down there past that place with the solar panels. So walking down to the cabin, we've stayed here before, and it's a little bit of a bitch to get to. You got to drive like 20 minutes north up a pretty twisty road, and then you got to hike all the way down here. And the first time we did it, it was like pitch black in the middle of the night, and it was really sketchy. But this is a little bit easier, but I'm carrying a bunch of shit, and hopefully I don't fall on my ass. This is home for the next couple of days. This is the best part. That view from this bath. Oh yeah. All right, figured I should show you the gear that I came with to shoot. So as you've been seeing, the T2, this is just kind of like consistent. It's easy. It always seems to work.
You don't have to try too much with this one. So this is, it's a daily driver, but it's more for convenience than anything. So we got that guy. We got the M6, my favorite camera for sure. So this is what most things will be shot with. Once like we're here and actually in the nice areas, this is what I was gonna save everything for, basically. I do have a digital M, I have my M10. I am shooting a little bit for work, so I wanna have digital copies because you never know. And we're a long way from home, so I can't just pop over here and reshoot. So I have the M10, and then I'll go through my lenses for my Leica. So I have, actually this is my 21 mil Voigtlander. So this, super wide, super fun, easy focus, just kind of a go-to. The one I normally keep on the M6 is my 35 f2 vintage line, which is my favorite 35 I've ever tried for M mount. So that one kind of lives on this camera. Sometimes I'll throw it on the digital as well because it's just very, very good lens. And then I have a Zeiss 50 mil f2, I believe. Yep. Really sharp, really good. 50 is actually really nice on digital Leicas. I like 35 on film, but I like this on my M10. This is like a very, very sharp, clean, clear lens. I like a little bit more characteristic normally, but this one is quite nice. Be really good for this kind of stuff. And then I also brought this vintage-ish 90 mil Minolta. I think this will be cool. Capture like different perspectives of the cabin from further away, things like that. So I think this will be fun. And then we have the tank. We got the RZ67. Now I normally wouldn't bring this much shit, but this was a drive. We drove 4 to 5 hours to get here. I would never fly with this much stuff, especially with this. Like this is like bringing a refrigerator with you. So I would normally not bring this much stuff, but I wanted to have every option I could because I just had to throw it in the car. So that's everything we're shooting with. A lot of it's going to be film. I probably won't even show the digital stuff, but yeah, that's the gear.
All right, it was time to grab the Mamiya, fire off a couple shots. So my RZ, so all of it, there's a light leak now, as you can see, and it's in almost every picture in the same sense. It's just how bad it is. So after I got this roll back, I'm pretty sure I've fixed it since then. I took some foam, some light leak foam, and I cut some like strips to match the old stuff, and I replaced most of the foam in the camera. And I think it's fixed, but I'm gonna have to do another roll in bright sunlight to test it, because if I look back at some of them, like I'm pretty sure I know where the sun was in each shot, and it's pretty consistent to not being the lens, not being the bellows, because those aren't damaged, like anything like that. So I'm pretty sure I fixed it, but we'll see in the next one. But there is some light leaks in these photos. And then also near the end of the roll, I don't know if maybe I advanced too quickly or something, but there's a little bit of that, like where the slide kind of rolls into the next one, or the almost like double exposure-y thing. But that happens with 120 every once in a while on older cameras, so I'm not too bothered by it. So first thing the next morning, you are blinded by the sun. I actually really like waking up like this, but it was pretty harsh through the window. Okay, I'm gonna load up some film for the day. So I have a lot. I mean, I brought a bunch. So I think, I don't know. In the M6, I'm thinking maybe I might just go Cinestill 50 just because it's super bright. May as well start there. And then in the Mamiya, ooh, do we go XR? That'd be kind of nice. Portrait would be really nice here too because of the colors. Let's run a portrait in the Mamiya. And then I think I'm almost done the Contax. So I'll bring a backup for this as well. We're gonna try this one. I haven't shot this yet. This is that like Harman Phoenix film. I'll bring that down with me as well. All right, let's load them up. And then I'm gonna run on the M6. I'll keep the 35 on, like I mentioned, kind of lives there. I was gonna switch to the 50 actually, but I'll run the 50 on the M10 for now. We will do that. Let's just make sure this is empty. Okay. Should be fine. Cinestill. I'll put nice film in the M6. M6 is loaded. All right. Now we're loaded. So something I really like about Cinestill 50D, it is a bit of a limiting film just because of like how slow it is, but I remember shooting it for the first time like I think it was 8 or 9 years ago. It was on a T2, on my T2 as well. And I just remember getting the photos back and just loving the skin tones. I know they're like muted or where they're almost like gray. They're like I understand that it's like really desaturated and it's not really that pleasant, but there was something so soft about it that I really really liked. I was so drawn to it, especially if you shoot in like a really really bright sunny place. And so this photo is like a good example of that. Like I know it's kind of a weird look. It's like almost like it's unfinished a little bit, but there's something I really like about it, even though it is quite limiting. So I don't shoot it a ton, and I don't buy it that often. But I had a roll, so I thought I would shoot it here. You see Chino down in the corner here stalking me. I really like this photo. I like that Chino's not obstructed by the leaves. Obviously Alexa's not, like that was how I framed it, but I really like using super close foreground as a natural framing to the subject that's further in the midground. That's like one of my favorite ways to shoot. Took Chino out for his first paddleboard experience. Not a bad office, honestly. That was it. Took Rainbow Road all the way home. Just a quick little overnight, one of our favorite places to stay. And just wanted to kind of get the ball rolling. I have a lot of travel coming up, a lot of trips coming up this year where I'm going to be shooting pretty much predominantly film. I'm going to be making quite a few more of these videos, and I would appreciate the like and subscribe on these because I'm having a ton of fun already being in the mindset of, oh, if I'm going here and I'm shooting this roll of film, I should probably film it and share it. So having a ton of fun, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.